Hi, today I'm going to give you a presentation about UHIP. What it stands for is University Health Insurance Plan. And actually we're going to go into what is UHIP. It's a medical plan. It is mandatory for international students. The rate is $57 per month. And the UHIP is automatically enrolled, meaning the UHIP charge along with this coverage will be listed on ROSI. And the UHIP coverage could start as early as August 10th. But by default, it starts from September 1st of every academic year. So coverage, UHIP pays up to $1 million a year. So UHIP covers for doctor visit, surgery, emergency care, and along with many other things. Again, on the slide, it only has the detailed, like a brief introduction of the coverage. So if you want full information on coverage, you might want to visit www.uhip.ca. So coverage, what UHIP does not cover, it does not cover for your vision care, dental, and your prescription drugs, along with the physiotherapy, chiropractic services, and acupuncture. Again, for further coverage information on what UHIP does not cover, you have to visit the website www.uhip.ca. So coverage outside of Canada. A lot of students do find themselves traveling outside of Canada during the school year. So UHIP only covers for emergency expenses outside of Canada. So coverage is very limited. So we highly recommend you to purchase additional traveling insurance while you're traveling outside of Canada. And coverage in Canada but outside of Ontario. The coverage is the same, but the payment process changes. What I mean by that is you have to pay upfront when you're receiving medical services outside of province Ontario. But of course, you can get the money back later by submitting a claim form. But with that claim form, you also need to submit your original receipt, hospital bill. So don't forget to get the receipt when you're receiving services outside of province Ontario. So UHIP enrollment, it consists of 3 steps. So first is checking your UHIP charge on your ROSI. And second is confirming your registration by paying your tuition fee. And third is to register online and print your UHIP card. There's a lot of changes this year in terms of enrollment. UHIP is now automated, meaning that the UHIP cards are now available online starting this year. And there's also smartphone application available. I'll go more details with the smartphone application in the later slides. And a small change also, UHIP used to be administrated through Health and Wellness Center in the past, but now UHIP has been integrated into International Student Center. So every help or need advice will be given from the International Student Center in terms of UHIP. So UHIP enrollment. So how to obtain your UHIP card online. So step 1 is to go to mysunlife.ca and select register now, and also click on register benefits plan. And in step 2 is where you enter your information. So your date of birth, Canadian postal code, and policy number, which is same for all UF students. It's 050150. And member ID, if you have 9-digit student number, it's letter UT and your 9-digit student number followed. If you have 10-digit student number, it's only letter U followed by 10-digit student number. And click on continue. So in step 3, it's where access ID and password. In step 3, you can choose the method of receiving a further instruction for finishing online registration by either email, or it could be actually physically mailed to your home. But we prefer email because it's much faster and safer. In this step 3, you can also select your email address as your preferred ID. And once you chose all that, you can click on submit to go to the next step. So next in step 4, we'll have your what's called access ID card on your screen, which looks like this in yellow. The important thing is this is not your UHIP card yet, but you do need this 12-digit number on the yellow card access ID card to complete your registration. So write it down or print the actual card itself. So step 5 is the actual registration part. So you must have received the email from Sun Life. There's a link in the email. So click on the link, and then you need to enter 12-digit access ID number, which was on your yellow card, and also your date of birth for confirmation. Once you've done that, you need to set your new password and then log in back to the mysunlife.ca and then scroll down to print coverage card on the drop-down menu, and actual UHIP card that you need to bring all the time to see a doctor will show on the screen. Simply you can print that out and bring it with you all the time. And also, I've mentioned before, there's a free mobile application available for BlackBerry and iPhone. So, My Sun Life mobile app, it actually provides a better UHIP experience. So your phone screen replaces a paper UHIP card. And also you can submit and track your claims on this app. And it's available for BlackBerry in App World, in iPhone App Store, and Android. Simply go to m.mysunlife.ca, mobile version of the website. So Convocation UHIP extension. Once you graduate from U of T, there is actually maximum 2-month UHIP extension for you. There's 2 categories though. One is June convocation. If you're convocating in June, the extension is already applied. What I mean by that is UHIP is 12-month program starting from September 1st till end of August of following year. So if you're convocating in June, next 2 months would be July and August, which is already part of the 12-month UHIP program. So there's no extension available, and you cannot opt out from this 2 months. But for November convocation, if you're convocating in November, the option is actually available for extending. So next 2 months, if you're completing your programs by August, it would be September and October. So you can extend it for September and October, 2 months. Returning Canadians and the OHIP waiting period. New permanent residents or returning Canadian citizen are eligible for OHIP. It's the provincial coverage, free of charge, which can replace UHIP. So, but the thing with OHIP is that once you apply for OHIP, there's what's called a 3 months OHIP waiting period. So OHIP doesn't start right away. You have 3 months waiting period until your OHIP actually become effective. So for that 3 months of gap, you can actually purchase UHIP for that 3 months waiting period before your OHIP coverage becomes effective. And dependent enrollment. As a member of UHIP, you can also enroll your dependents on the UHIP plan as well. What's dependent is a spouse or common law partner and children. So no other family members, siblings, or parents are not considered as a dependent. And you must enroll your dependents within 30 days of their arrival here in Canada. And rate is always subjected to change every year, but for this year, 2012-2013, it's same as the student. It's $57 per month, so $684 for 12 months. And if you have 2 or more dependents, it's the flat rate. So it's $1,000, $368 for family coverage. Okay? So in order to enroll your dependent, you must book an appointment. The link is on the slide with the Center for International Experience in downtown UT campus to enroll your eligible dependent. UHIP exemption and refund. You can actually be exempted, get rid of UHIP, if you have pre-approved healthcare plans, which has OHIP, Embassy of Kuwait, and this goes on. So if you have one of these plans, you may be exempted. You may exempt it from UHIP. But if you have some other insurance that covers you here in Canada but does not fall into the pre-approved, you may still apply for exemption, but you need to submit the certificate of exemption and required documents to Sun Life yourself. So certificate exemption form can be downloaded at the UHIP.ca website, and you must apply for an exemption by September 30th. Partial UHIP refund. You can also apply for partial UHIP refund if you meet the following criteria. So first, you must have a full year UHIP coverage. And either you're covered by OHIP, or if you're a graduate student to complete your program early in the school year, and if you're being off campus, if you're withdrawn from your program, and if you have dependents who have left Canada. So you have to apply for UHIP refund, partial UHIP refund, as early as possible at the ISC, and the refund application deadline is February 28th of 2013, next year. So now we talked about what is UHIP, what UHIP covers, what UHIP does not cover, and how to obtain your UHIP card online this year. Now simply we can ask, where should we go see a doctor? So there's one clinic on campus. It's called Health and Wellness Center in Student Life Building. The great thing about on-campus clinic is that they accept UHIP automatically, so you don't have to pay anything there. And these are the off-campus clinics that are on PPN. What's PPN is Preferred Health Network. So they accept UHIP automatically as well as the on-campus clinic. So these are three lists: Centenary and the Scarborough Hospital, General Campus, and Grace Campus. They accept UHIP, so you don't have to pay there if the coverage is there. So off-campus, after hours, the three clinics that I've mentioned, they accept UHIP automatically, so you just gotta show your card, UHIP card. And cost is covered by UHIP if your medical needs part of the UHIP program. But if you decide to visit somewhere else than the three clinics that's mentioned or one on campus, you may still visit them. But the thing with the doctor's office not on PPN is that you have to pay. You're required to pay cash for a visit, but of course you can get the money back later by submitting a claim form. So claim process is very simple. You must submit your claim form directly to Sun Life within 12 months of the service, and the original receipt of the payment must be attached to the claim form when you're sending in to Sun Life. And also you may make copies just for your reference, because you'll be sending in original copies. And on the actual claim form, you must fill in section 1 to 3, and section 4 and 5 needs to be filled out by the doctor. Okay, you must sign and date the form, and then you have to mail those claim form attached with your original receipt of the hospital bill directly to the Sun Life. So mailing address is actually on the claim form. On the second page at the very bottom, you'll find the mailing address for Sun Life. And of course, claim form can be downloaded at the UHIP.ca website. So if you have any questions or need help, advice on UHIP, this is our contact. We are located at the IC Instructional Center, 349. That's our email and phone number as well. So these are the reflection questions you might want to ask yourself. How early UHIP coverage can start? How's my UHIP coverage differ when I'm traveling outside of Canada, or in Canada but outside Ontario? What should I consider when I'm visiting clinics that do not accept UHIP? How do I claim? When is the refund application deadline? What are the benefits of having UHIP access in hand? What services are available on my Sun Life mobile? Where is the closest clinic from where I live? How do I enroll my dependents on our UHIP? Who should I contact if I need help with UHIP? So that's for my presentation, and good luck.